honorable brothers and sisters, is a champion of the Sunni world. And it's very unfortunate that we tend to learn about Imam Ahmad Rida from deviants or from other people. So this is why I thought it's important, and it's not something that's just because it's in the market, everybody's celebrating the 100th or so, we thought we'd do it as well. Alhamdulillah, I see some brothers sat in this gathering who attended my GOH 4 or 5 years ago when we first started in Birmingham. And it's nice to see those 3 musketeers again in our gathering, and many other brothers as well, alhamdulillah. So every year when the month of Safar arrives, we pay tribute to Imam Ahl Sunnah. And you may think to yourself, who is this individual? Who is this man that we always talk about? And the only thing that we know about him is what we hear in the media or in YouTube videos or from deviant people. Little do we know that this is the individual that connects us and that kept our forefathers Sunni and kept them on the right Aqidah of the Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. So alhamdulillah, it's important for us to know about him or to be motivated. Why? Simply because Imam Ahl Sunnah, putting everything to aside, he was a wali of Allah. He was a friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sahib Ruhul Bayan, and this is the reason why we are here today. I want to share the story with you that I was reading. Sahib Ruhul Bayan, he writes that once a man falls asleep and in his dream he's enabled to speak with Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks this individual, Subhanallah, say Subhanallah. Subhanallah. All of you say Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks the individual, I have given you so much. I have given you life. I have given you wealth. I have given you family. What have you done for me? What have you done for me? Sahib Ruhul Bayan में एक वाक़या जो मैं आपकी खिदमत में अर्ज करना चाहता हूँ कि अल्लाह के एक वली रात को सोए और अल्लाह तबारक तआला की जानिब से आवाज़ आई कि मैंने तुझे सब कुछ दिया, जिंदगी दी, सेहत दी, औलाद दी, माल दिया, सब कुछ दिया, तूने मेरे लिए क्या किया है? What have you done for me? What have you done for me? This man replies back to the voice that he hears, and he says, I pray my namaz, I give sadaqah, I give khairat, I do all the good that I can do. Everything that I can do good, I do that. Rabbe Kainat ki bargah se awaaz aati hai. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replies and says, कि ए बंदे, नमाज तो तू अपने लिए पढ़ता है. Namaz, you pray for yourself. Why? Because you know it will make you enter Jannah. Namaz, it's for yourself. You know you will enter Jannah if you are obedient to me. You know that if you give sadaqah and khairat, you will be rewarded for that not only in the dunya but akhirah as well. He says to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Bari ta'ala, you then tell me, what can I do for your sake, which is purely for you. My honorable brothers, namaz, sadaqah, khairat and all the good, we do it not for Allah's sake. We do it for our own sake because we know we will be allowed entry into Jannah if we do such good noble acts. Then what can we do purely for Allah's sake? Ruhul Bayan, Sahib Ruhul Bayan, he writes, कि रब्बे कायनात की बारगाह से आवाज आती है. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds to that individual and he says, कि what you can do for me is love my friends. Namaz and everything is for yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what you can do for me is love my friends. Have muhabbat and pyar and ulfat for the awliya, for the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the reason why we come together tonight, to spark that love in our hearts for the noble men of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we talk about the noble men of Allah, Imam Ahl Sunnat, Imam Ahmad Rida, he stands tall and he cuts above all in the recent history. He stands tall and cuts above them all. Why? Because not only is he a mujaddid, someone who revives the deen to its original state. My honorable brothers, he was one of the greatest walis of his time. He was one of the greatest friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of his times. So we must try to tonight go back from here having that love for Alaa Hazrat, having that love for Imam Ahl Sunnah, and going back with the thirst of learning about this man. Not only listen to YouTube videos and think that this guy was just nothing but trouble. He called everybody kafir, he called everybody a bidati, he called everybody a mushrik. No. You know, Alaa Hazrat Imam Ahmad Rida is not a name of Fard Wahid. Ahmad Raza is not the name of one person. Let me tell you very clearly and loudly, Ahmad Raza is the name of an encyclopedia. Ahmad Raza is the name of a university. Ahmad Raza is the name of an institute. If you look and analyze his life. So let us begin tonight by introducing Alaa Hazrat to you. Who was he? And let's not go to, his family members to introduce him. Let's not go to, first we begin by presenting an introduction of Alaa Hazrat from somebody who has not even met him. Look at that greatness. Somebody who has not even met him. You know what he says? Sheikh Muhammad Khalid Al-Adhari. Maulana, aage tashreef le. Last time you done us over as well. Say Subhanallah. Nara Takbir. Nara Risalat. Nara Haydari. Sheikh Khalid Al-Adhari, who writes famous works. A famous book that he writes regarding the Mujaddids of the 20th century. Regarding the Mujaddids of the 20th century. Regarding the influential men. And you know the first man he writes? The first man he writes about, and this man is a man who spent his entire life serving the deen at Al-Azhar University. He's never met with Alaa Hazrat. He's never had an encounter with Imam Ahl Sunnah. Look at the level of his introduction of Imam Ahl Sunnah. And this is what I want tonight. You know, my crowd of brothers is completely different to other gatherings. You may go to a different gathering and you'll get people who are linked to the masajid, who are linked with the ulama. Allah has blessed me with a beautiful crowd like you. Maybe you guys, it's not a good thing, but maybe you guys only come to a mosque once a month on the gathering of home. Try to go to the masajid more regularly. Yeah? The point being is Allah has blessed me with a beautiful crowd and I love working with you brothers. So I'm not going to go into detail about Imam Ahl Sunnah. I'm not going to go into depth regarding him. I just want you to learn about him. And I want you to eradicate the videos that you watched regarding Imam Ahl Sunnah. I want you to go back and think, wow, really, do we own this individual? Alaa Hazrat is ours. Because let me tell you, Alaa Hazrat is not for those people who only have long beards. Alaa Hazrat is not only for those people who are from India. Alaa Hazrat is not only for those people who have Ridwi at the end of their names. Alaa Hazrat is for everybody. Like Muhammad Mustafa is وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. His mercy is for the entire mankind and for the entire world. This is how the Faizan of Alaa Hazrat is not only for the ones that I read next to the name. Alaa Hazrat Faizan is for everyone who says La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Say Subhanallah. Brother Abdullah, mashallah, has come all the way from Manchester and his Subhanallah is louder than all of you. All of you say Subhanallah. The brothers that are coming late, if I can request them to pray namaz afterwards now. Now the program has begun. Namaz, inshallah, you can pray later. Inshallah. We have the whole night for namaz. Okay? So Imam Ahl Sunnah is for everybody. Now a man who's never met him, a person who's never met him, he introduces him. And you know what he says? He says, I've never ever in my life, I've come across a text, a writing, which is so beautiful and so accurate in explaining the perfection of Iman. I've never come across, and this is an alim, this is someone who's teaching the ulum, this is someone who's teaching funun, this is not somebody who is just studied in a back garden with a Maulvi Sahib for 6 months and now he's an imam and he's a mufti and he's an alim and he raises in the pulpit and he says, Ahmad Raza wrote this, Ahmad Raza wrote. We're talking about a man who spent his entire life, over 40 years, teaching in Al-Azhar University, which was the capital of Islamic sciences at one time. He writes that I've never come across a statement so beautiful, so accurate, that describes the beauty of Iman. Never come across this statement. And you know what statement he brings? He says this statement belongs to the one from him. This statement belongs to the one whose name is Ahmad Rida. He's never met him. He's never spoken to him. Lekin he brings him from the first on the list And he says, no statement I've read in my life which is so beautiful and so accurate. That proves and that describes the beauty of Iman. Explains the perfection of Iman. And you know the statement he brings? The statement of Imam Ahl Sunnah, in which he says that if you were to split my heart or cut my heart into two juz, into two parts. If you cut my heart, you know a person has a physical heart and then a spiritual heart. The spiritual heart that Rasulullah talks about, and I always mention in the zikr that you have black dots placed on your heart each time you commit a sin. The spiritual heart. Look at the love of Imam Ahl Sunnah. Look at this perfection in this statement. Look how his heart is filled with the love of Allah and love of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He says, Shaykh Khalid Al-Azri says that this statement is so much so that it blew me away. Which is what? Alaa Hazrat says that if you take my heart out, split it into half, you will find on one half of my heart it will say La ilaha illallah, and on the other half of my heart it will say Muhammadur Rasulullah. This statement is so beautiful and so accurate in describing the perfection of Iman. The Shaykh writes that I've never come across a statement like this. So this is the introduction of Alaa Hazrat. This is what I'm trying to get to you in tonight's gathering. That this is this man who's outstanding. He's a shining star amongst the stars of the Ahl Sunnah. He's a champion who safeguarded the belief that came from Rasulullah, from the Sahaba, from the beautiful Khulafai Rashideen, from the Tabi'een, Tabi'een, all the way down to our times. He was a man who safeguarded that Aqidah. Any deviant that came out, he stroked, he striped, and he defended the correct and the sound Aqidah that we have inherited from him, that was inherited from his ulama, and all transmission goes all the way back to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. So this is an introduction, not the introduction that we get on YouTube videos. You know, just in the recent past we had a video flying around. My aim today, but due to lack of time and everything, I wanted to just speak about that 10-15 minute video that was going around 6 months ago. Like, there's many Alaa Hazrat conferences and many more competent muftis and ulama, inshallah, and I'm sure they will refute that. Because we are about love. We're not here to cause division. We're here to spread that love. So I'm introducing to you Alaa Hazrat from someone who's not met him. Someone who served all his life the deen. Now let's go and get an introduction for Alaa Hazrat from a man in whose hand Imam Ahl Sunnah gave his hand. He is Murshid. He is Shaykh. Sayyid Shah Ali Rasul. When he enters into his bargah, what happens? The Shaykh, this Sufi, this saint, this friend of Allah, what happens? Immediately he gives him bay'ah. Not only does he give him bay'ah, take his hand, in his hand, he also gives him ijazat on all his orders. He gives all the ijazat to Alaa Hazrat. Other disciples that are sat in the gathering, they say, you know, we've come here, so many years we are working, we are striving, we are cleaning our hearts and souls and minds. We've not reached this maqam that you've given us ijazah. You've given us, permission to continue. Where he has sat serving, thriving and striving to reach Allah. Like Imam Ahmad Raza has come at such a tender age. Not only have you given him bay'ah, but you've given him khilafat as well. You've given him permission in all your orders. Where's the cleaning of the heart? Where's the safai of the nafs? Where's the tarbiyat of his nafs? You know what the Shaykh says? The Shaykh says that you all came to my bargah with hearts that needed cleaning. Like Ahmad Raza entered my bargah, and before he entered, his heart was already clean. His heart was already clean. And then Sayyid Shah Ali Rasul, you know what he says? This is an introduction. Look at this. And feel proud that you are connected with Imam Ahl Sunnah. Feel proud that you can walk on the streets of UK and say, our Imam, his name is Ahmad Raza. Feel proud that you walk on the streets and you sit with your colleagues and say that we follow the very same teachings that Imam Ahmad Raza left us. Because Sayyid Ali Rasul, you know what he says? He said, prior to Ahmad Raza coming to my bargah, I was confused. Look at this introduction, my Muslim brothers and sisters. Look at this giant Imam. Like I said, Ahmad Raza is not the name of Fard Wahid. Ahmad Raza is the name of a university. Ahmad Raza is the name of something that we cannot even comprehend. Why? Because like the Arab ulama say, he's a mu'jizatun min mu'jizatin Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He's a miracle from the miracles of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He was not an ordinary individual. We cannot comprehend him. Look at his introduction by his Shaykh. Sayyid Al, what does he say? His Murshid says, Sayyid Shah Al Rasul, he says, prior to Ahmad Raza coming to my bargah, I was confused as to what will I say to Allah, what have I done on earth? कि मैं अल्लाह की बारगाह में क्या पेश करूंगा? मुर्शिद क्या कह रहे हैं कि अल्लाह की बारगाह में जाकर मैं कंफ्यूज था, परेशान था कि रब्बे कायनात की बारगाह में जाकर मैं क्या अर्ज करूंगा कि मैंने दुनिया में क्या किया है, what have I done on the earth? लेकिन the moment Ahmad Raza entered my gathering, I am confident, मुझे यकीन है कि रब्बे कायनात की बारगाह में मुअद्दिबाना में अर्ज करूंगा कि या बारी ताला मैं अहमद रजा को लेकर आया हूं. Say subhanallah. All of you say subhanallah. Look at this introduction. A noble man of Allah, someone who spent his entire life serving the deen, he is saying that when Allah asks me, what have you done? I will say, Ya Bari Ta'ala, I have brought Ahmad Raza. I have brought Ahmad Raza with me. This is my pride, this is my honor. My honorable brothers, this is the introduction of Alaa Hazrat. This is who Alaa Hazrat is. Not only from the subcontinent scholars, the Arabian scholars, the people who never met Imam Ahmad Raza, this is who he is. Unfortunately, in our society, all we hear and we find regarding this individual, someone who has just caused friction and fatwa and kufr fatwas on individuals. This is why I say, my Muslim brothers, don't listen to today's Maulvi regarding the introduction of Imam Ahl Sunnah. Go back in history, listen to his peers. You know when after the passing away of Alaa Hazrat, in the subcontinent of ulama, there was a question that was brought to them, that how many twists did the Prophet ﷺ have in his Amama Sharif? Subhanallah. Say Subhanallah. You know Amama Sharif, how many times did the Prophet ﷺ turn his Amama Sharif? How many folds did he have? The ulama were confused. Look at the level of knowledge, look at his highness in knowledge, his expertise in ilm, of knowledge. You know what the ulama say? That we don't have the answer to this. MashaAllah. We don't have the answer to this, how many folds the Prophet ﷺ had in his Amama Sharif. But you know what? There's one person who would have the answer to this. But unfortunately he's passed away. And you know what his name is? It's none other than Ahmad Raza. This was the level of depth of his knowledge. His peers. This is where we should get the introduction from Alaa Hazrat. Not from laymen, not from street men, not from people who have not studied the deen. This is the introduction of Allah. This is why I said that my crowd is different. You people probably, may not even know the difference. Like at least you'll go back having that thirst to love Imam Ahl Sunnah in your life. This is my objective tonight. I'm not going to go into detail. Like my honorable brothers, putting all the issues of bid'at, the issues where he condemned and he brought Islam back to its original state. He's a mujaddid of his time. And what is a mujaddid? Who brings back Islam to its original form. When deviants creep into the area, when deviants creep into our ideology, our creed, and they try to destroy the creed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the head of every century sends a mujaddid to bring Islam back to its original form. Why? Because Anbiya are finished. After Rasulullah, there is no Nabi to come. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends his men and they revive the deen. They bring it back to its original state. So Imam Ahl Sunnah is our most recent mujaddid. So what does he do? He brings the deen back to its original state. So my honorable brothers, this is the introduction of Alaa Hazrat. This is who he was. And then furthermore, putting all the reviving of the deen to a side, do you want to understand how much of a man of knowledge he was? He was a mountain of knowledge. This is why, my young Muslim brothers, I say that learning about the level of education of Imam Ahl Sunnah should spark a thirst in you to go and study the deen of Islam. This should be the objective of tonight's gathering. Go and learn about Islam. Go and study Islam. Put all these fatawas to the side. Look at the level of how enhanced he was in knowledge. My honorable brother, at the age of 3, it's written that when Imam Ahl Sunnat Markaz-e-Nigah-e-Nabuwwat, Imam Ahmad Rida, at the age of 3, we may have some 3 years old. We have a little children running around. Saifuddin. Subhanallah, Qais. Saif is the younger one, huh? Say Subhanallah. Both of you say Subhanallah. You sound like, you're so like tensed up, guys. Relax. Loosen your muscles, huh? Say Subhanallah. Use your tongue to say Subhanallah. All of you say Subhanallah. If I was to bring the plates in here and the gym bars and the gym session in here, all you guys will be shouting and screaming and pushing the weight. For Allah's sake, exercise your tongue. Bring moist to your tongue. Do the wuzu of your tongues and say Subhanallah. It's not loud enough. All of you say Subhanallah. Loudly, all of you say Subhanallah. At the age of 3, a man was seen in the streets of Delhi. Never was he seen before, nor was he seen after that ever again. Imam Ahl Sunnat, he goes out and he converses with this individual. Not in Hindi, not in Urdu, in the Arabic language. What was the age? 3 years old. This is how we must introduce Alaa Hazrat. That this man was a genius. And this man was, like I said, Ahmad Raza is not the name of Fard Wahid. Ahmad Raza is the name of a full university. Ahmad Raza was phenomenal. We cannot even comprehend him. Again, repeating the point, we cannot comprehend him simply because he's a mu'jizatum min mu'jizatin Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's a miracle from the miracles of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We cannot even comprehend him. Age of 3, he converses in Arabic language. Those brothers that were with me in the Aqsa trip, 2 times I was put to a test. Once in Masjid al-Aqsa when the Imam of the Masjid sat us all down and I had to translate what he was saying. A 15-minute session, reminding me of Damascus University. But I was going back, G. Yeah, just bring it, few brothers, Assalamu alaikum Hassan, you okay? Just take it to the back please, yeah? And I was put to a test where I had to translate his speech to our brothers in English. And then when we were at the maqam of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, again the Imam, he comes and he speaks Arabic and I had to translate. And I was under so much pressure. And I studied 5 years in Damascus. And when I was there, alhamdulillah, speak to my peers that were there, alhamdulillah, that are now serving the deen in different ways and forms. Alhamdulillah, I said, my Arabic was very good at one time. But now I tell you, my side is very rusty. Lekin, Imam Ahl Sunnat, Allah, at the age of 3, he sits there, and what happens? He begins to speak to this man in the Arabic language. This is at the age of 3. Then at the age of 6, he comes with his father, his grandfather to a jalsa, to a program. And the jalsa was titled the Mawlid of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At the age of 6, this young man, age of 6, he stands up and he begins to address the audience. Thousands of people. He begins to address the audience, not for 10 minutes. I remember when my dad would push me, I was 6 years old and I would read the kalme on the mic and so forth. And that's where I get my motivation from. Like, I remember how much pressure I was. I would quickly read my 6 kalme and sit back down. 2-3 minutes. Alaa Hazrat, at the age of 6, thousands of people, he stands in front of the great ulama of his time, the great muftis of his time, and he does not only speak for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 70 minutes, 80 minutes. Imam Ahl Sunnat with Quran and Hadith, quoting the Quran and Hadith for 2 hours. He speaks on the mawzu of Miladun Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is who he was. Look at what a giant of an Imam he is. Look at the level of his knowledge. Then at the age of 10, he's studying the deen. He's studying the deen. And he's reading, for example, Hidayatullah, and he's writing his own hashi on them. Musallam al-Sabut, Usul al-Fiqh, one of the greatest books, ulama that are sat here, they are familiar with these books. He's reading the book from the teacher and he's writing his own hashi on them. And that is then published. Outstanding. The teachers are shocked regarding, the intellect of this individual. Then at the age of 12, he graduates. Up until the age of 12, my brothers, what do we say regarding our children? Aja rendiyo bacha. And leave him, let him play Fortnite and let him sit on the PlayStation and let him do what he needs to do. Aja the bacha. 6, 7, we just about bring him to the mosque. It's shameful for our mosques as well, that we don't enroll students. You know what the ulama say? That when a child is 4 years, 4 months, 4 days, take him to the madrasa. This is what the ulama say. 4 years, 4 months and 4 days, make him read Bismillah. Bring him to the masjids. But unfortunately, our masjid, the doors open for our children at the age of 6. Bring them to the mosque at the age of 6. And then when they come to the masjid, the systems are in front of you. May Allah give guidance to our masajid. And those people that run our masajid, say Ameen. Ameen. Maybe our Ameen is accepted and some work starts to get done. Say Ameen. Like Alaa Hazrat at the age of 12, he graduates. He becomes an alim, completes his religious education. Then at the age of 13, my honorable brothers, he becomes a mufti. Mufti is not a small title. Today it's very light in our communities. Mufti is very easy. You know, on the immigration officers at Heathrow Airport, they have different stamps. Mufti stamp, Peer stamp, Alim stamp, Imam Sahib stamp. Whatever they come in with, get a stamp. And Pakistan, you're probably cleaning people's shoes. Here you're a Mufti Azam. Or here you know Ali Ba, and 6 months later you become a Mufti Azam. There's no criteria in our society. You know, we've forgotten the people of knowledge. Now it's about who dresses the smartest, whose beard is the longest. Not against short beards. All of you should keep that. Now, the majority of my brothers are affiliated with me. You have long beard. I'm not defending a short beard or anything like that. But what I'm saying, our criteria has changed. It's about the one with the longest jubba, the one with the longest tasbih, the one with the, you know, he's a mufti sahib. He's probably only 26 years old, probably studied 6 years with few scholars, but he's got mufti next to his name. Allahu Akbar. Such a cheap title. But Allahu Akbar, may Allah guide them. Let's go back to Imam Ahl Sunnah. A real mufti who gives a fatwa at the age of 13. A fatwa that muftis could not issue. Like at the age of 13, Brother Qasim, Allahu Akbar. At the age of 13, our Imam, he issues his first fatwa. He gives his first fatwa. So this is at the age of 13. You can try to comprehend now how much of a, you know, individual this individual is. How much of a learned man this wali of Allah is. And let me tell you, my Muslim brothers and honorable sisters, even if you don't want to make mention of the name of Ahmad Raza, almost 49 times a day you make mention of Ahmad Raza. You can run as far as you want. Like at least minimum 49 times indirectly you make mention of Ahmad Raza. How? When you stand in your prayer and you stand in the state of Qiyam and you say, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, Sirat al-Ladina an'amta alayhim. Oh Allah, guide me on the path of those that you have favored. No doubt, Ahmad Raza alayhi rahmah was that man who was favored by Allah. He writes himself, I mastered 21 sciences from my father. 21 sciences I mastered from my honorable father. And some ulama write that 41 sciences were poured in the heart of Ahmad Raza from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 21 he mastered from his father, the rest were poured from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he was from amongst those that were favored from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We make dua in our namaz, regardless of which denomination you belong to, regardless of which tariqah you follow, you're making dua in your namaz. Say, oh Allah, put me on the path of Ahmad Raza. Put me on the path of those that you have favored. So my honorable brothers, this is the level of his knowledge. This is why I say he's a giant person, he's a giant individual. At the age of 13 he gives his fatwa. First fatwa he gives. And then furthermore, at the age of 18 he gets married. Another point for us all. Lovers of Alaa Hazrat. At the age of 18 he got married, not 25, not 30 when your father says to you, Putra, get married, you say, Dad, I'm still young. Yet you say, Faizane Alaa Hazrat Zindabad. And Alaa Hazrat ne nare lane asa. And we're 25, 30 years old and we're not even married. Alaa Hazrat's practice was not the age of 18 he got married. And then he was blessed with some beautiful children. Allahu Akbar. Who are great muftis of their time. Anyhow, at the age of 18 he gets married. At the age of 22 he makes his first safar to Haramain. And this is what I want to highlight tonight to you Muslim brothers, my honorable brothers and respected sisters. Alaa Hazrat was not just, like I said, for the people of Hindustan or Pakistan or Bangladesh. The way Rasulullah's rahmat is for mankind, the faizan of Alaa Hazrat is for everybody. The faizan of Alaa Hazrat is for every individual. And he was endorsed. And you know his mission of safeguarding the creed of the Ahl Sunnah, which he protected, he did not do it on his own. He had the aid and the help of global ulama. Global ulama aided him, helped him, endorsed him. He goes to Haram Makkah to perform Hajj. So he wasn't just a Pakistani Molvi. Allahu Akbar. He went to Haramain. And you know when he was stood in the Hatim of the Kaaba, when he was stood in Makkah Sharif, in the Haram, the Imam, the Shafi'i Imam, he races towards Ahmad Raza. Imagine this, at the age of 22. He runs towards him, he embraces him, and he begins to kiss him. And he says, Wallahi uqsimu billah, I swear by Allah, I can see the light of Allah shining in your forehead. This is an Arab alim, this is the Imam of Makkah. Today, when you go to Makkah and you go to Medina, you know some people are frightened to say that you're Brahlevis. First thing is that we're not Brahlevis. Who said we're Brahlevis? This is just a mullah terminology. We're not Brahmanis. We have love for Alaa Hazrat, we are Sunnis. We've taken ourselves out of the huge, big box and put ourselves into a small little box. And we're proud to write Ridwis next to our names and so forth. No doubt we have love for Alaa Hazrat. And no one can challenge our love for Alaa Hazrat. As I said at the start, Alaa Hazrat is not for those that have Ridwis at the end of their names. Alaa Hazrat is for everybody. Alaa Hazrat is for everyone. We are not Brahmanis. We are Sunnis. And the Mujaddid of our time is Ahmad Raza, who is from Brahmi and who has the whole right to call himself Brahmi because he's from that region. Alhamdulillah, we are Sunnis. Like now in Saudi Arabia, we have the Imams that actually look out for Brahmanis. And they give them so much trouble. They forgot that prior to them, their predecessors, how they honored the Imam Ahmad Raza, how they embraced him, how they kissed him, how they showed the highest level of hospitality. They took him to their houses. They gave him everything they could. And they said that we can see the light of Allah in your forehead. So he was not only a man that was introduced and accepted and endorsed by people of his own time, in his own area and location. When he traveled to Ejaaz al-Muqaddas, the Arab ulama, they endorsed him. They showed love to him. And they said, wow, there was Alaa Hazrat, a wow factor. Like I said, you can't understand him. Allahu Akbar. And this was the same thing when he goes back for the second Hajj. What happens? They bring a question to him. And regarding the ilmul ghaib of the Prophet ﷺ, the knowledge of the unseen of the Prophet ﷺ. And Alaa Hazrat, you can imagine he's gone for Hajj. You brothers are going with me to Umrah now in November. Yeah. And you. Many of you sat here. And you're going to take limited luggage with you. You're already asking how much is the baggage allowance. So you can imagine Alaa Hazrat traveling very Ejaaz then. There were no Saudi airlines. Won't the sare puchne direct flight hai Imam Sahab? Yeah, phiri ka jasam. Kitni azmatana safar hosi us waqt na. You can imagine how they traveled. We've got it all easy now. So what the point I'm trying to make is Alaa Hazrat didn't take his library with him. He didn't take his books with him. He's gone to do Umrah. He's gone to perform Hajj. So he asked a question. And you know what? He answers the question. Someone asks today's Imam or a Maulvi a question and we fob them off. Yeah, it's jais. But every masla has ikhtilaf in it. Free ikhtilaf. And we fob it off. Qurban jahan Alaa Hazrat bana. It's like somebody, the king here. This is just to spice it up for you guys. A king once took his son to the mufti of his time and he said, Main chana ke rato raat tumhara putar mufti bane. And whatever you ask for, I will give you. Whatever you ask for, I will give you. Whatever you ask for, I will give you. There's enough space, boys. Move forward. Don't worry. Spiders. Itne bade jane spider. Allah. Say Subhanallah.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. Can't be bigger than you, bro. Subhanallah. And it's embarrassing. Shame is upon us. Asa Kashmir fatah karsa. Palestine jasa. Come on, one of you pick the spider up and give it a new home. Okay. Guys, can I have your attention? So this king, he says to the mufti, Nadeem Sahab, this is for you especially. I want my son to be a mufti overnight. So he said this is impossible. He takes him to the next one, takes him to the next one. He takes him to one mufti. And he says, okay, no problem. Since he's subah late, he'll be a mufti. He'll be an alim. So what happens is, he says to the boy that tomorrow morning, when people question you, whatever question they ask you, say fihi ikhtilaf. There's ikhtilaf in it. So in the following morning, all the muftis come together, they start asking him questions. This question. He says, fihi ikhtilaf. MashaAllah, this is amazing. They ask him again, he said, fihi ikhtilaf. Wow, fihi ikhtilaf. There was one that was more intelligent than the other muftis and maulvis. And he said, after a rhythm of fihi ikhtilaf, he says, what's your father's name? He says, fihi ikhtilaf. It's actually that as well. So the point I'm trying to make, my honorable brothers, is that it's not overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. So, Alaa Hazrat is in Makkah, is asked a question. And the question is asked is regarding the ilm ghaib of the Prophet ﷺ, regarding the knowledge of the unseen. And Alaa Hazrat does? He doesn't fob him off by saying fi ikhtilaf, or give him one sentence answer, or two sentences. Alaa Hazrat begins to write. Look at the level of his knowledge. Look at his credentials, my Muslim brothers. Allahu Akbar. Zindabad Agisa. Take heed from these you young ones. 10 rotiyan pharne hote hain. Allah Akbar. Say Subhanallah. All of you, with the way of Jazba guys, say Subhanallah. Still not content with that. So all of you, Subhanallah. The amount of people that are here, we need a good Subhanallah, especially some brothers that haven't been here for ages. They need to feel that buzz again. Eh? Say Subhanallah. Louder than that, say Subhanallah. Let this bold bear witness, inshallah. This Subhanallah will go a long way for us on the day of judgment. Say Subhanallah. Loudly say Subhanallah. Imam Ahl Sunnah does not fob the question off. He begins to write the answer. 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages. My honorable brothers, one of the most beautiful works of Alaa Hazrat, Ad-Dawlatul Makkiyya. Just over 8 hours, he writes a complete book proving the knowledge of the unseen of the Prophet. Narae Takbir. Narae Takbir. Narae Risalat. Narae Haydari. My honorable brothers, not just an answer, but he writes a complete book. He has nothing to refer back to. He doesn't have his books with him. Like on the spot, look at the level of knowledge. Look at his competency. Eh? Look at this man. So this introduction that we get of him, that is just fitna and fasad. No, my honorable brothers, look at the level of his knowledge. Look at his competency. He writes an entire book, Ad-Dawlatul Makkiyya. My honorable brothers, that answers the question of the ulama of Ejaaz al-Muqaddas. One whole book. Then he authors over 1,000 books in his life. Today we translate somebody else's book, and we have so much pride that I've translated this book, and I'm selling this book and make sure everybody buys this book, and this book has this, and this book has that, and this book has this. Alaa Hazrat writes 1,000 books. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 1,000 books he pens. Allahu Akbar. And his own books, not translations of other people's books. His own books, his own knowledge. He brings it on paper and he pens that knowledge. And there's commentaries in that. There's Fatawa Rizviya itself. Allah, look at the work of his Fatawa Jat. It's mustamil. It's upon 22,000 pages. Not 1,002. 22,000 pages are based, and it compiles Fatawa Rizviya. So over 1,000 books in. And when you talk about the books of Alaa Hazrat, I want to share something with you. My brother Abdullah is here, and Maulana Harun Raza is here as well. You both come late, and you had to make me start first today. Khair, inshallah. When you talk about Alaa Hazrat's books, go read them. And I advise, this Islamic bookshop, what is it called? Maktabatul Madina in Alam Rock Road. They've got it. I just seen a post on Facebook, the Malfuzat of Alaa Hazrat, translated into English. Every person should make an intention tomorrow morning to go Alam Rock. You're probably doing laps there tomorrow anyway, Saturday. So just park up and go into the Dawud Islamic bookshop and get the Malfuzat of Alaa Hazrat. Learn them. £4. More than I say, you should have bought them today and we would have sold them here. But khair, go and buy them. Okay? So 1,000 books he writes. Allahu Akbar. Commentaries in that. Then he writes a tarjuma of the Quran. Allahu Akbar. Kanzul Iman. And you know the beauty of the books of Alaa Hazrat? They have 3 qualities to them. That I felt. 3 qualities Alaa Hazrat's books have. One, that every name of every book it rhymes. Allahu Akbar. Every name that he is given to the book it rhymes. Okay? Number 2, quality of his works, my honorable brothers, is that whatever the title is, it explains to you what the subject matter is of the book. It's very rare that you get this, especially if you're reading Harry Potter. But Alaa Hazrat's work, his name of the title of the book, it tells you the subject matter. And something which is even more fascinating. Look at this genius, Allahu Akbar. Look at this genius. Every book, every number in Arabic, it has a numeric number to it. Every letter in Arabic, like the way we take 786 out for Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Every letter has a numeric number to it. Like the name Muhammad, if you take out the numeric numbers of that, it's 92. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, it's 786. So one of the things that are fascinating about the works of Alaa Hazrat is that every book that he's wrote, if you take out the numeric numbers of that, it will give you the year he wrote that book. I'll say it again so it registers, and then I'm sure you'll say Subhanallah. Every book that he writes, the title of the book, if you take out each letter's numeric number, it will give you in total the year in which he wrote that book. No other author has this. So these are the three qualities that are carried with the books and the works of Alaa Hazrat alayhi rahmah. So my honorable brothers, furthermore, when he was in Hijazul Muqaddas, in Makkatul Mukarramah, Madinatul Munawwara, these are on record, these are not just fairy tales. The ulama of Makkah and Medina, they gave khilafats, they gave ijazat to Imam Ahl Sunnah. My honorable brothers, I conclude on these words, and like I said to you from the start, my idea was to introduce to you Alaa Hazrat in a way that you're shocked, in a way that you say, wow, you know. And like I say, and I conclude with this word, that Alaa Hazrat is a key for us, that connected us to the Green Dome. Alaa Hazrat is a key that connects us to the Green Dome. When he was in Makkatul Mukarramah, he writes Adolatul Makkiyah. Then you can understand, you know, Alaa Hazrat and the love of Rasulullah, this is a topic in itself. You know, someone can sit and speak for hours. There's so much to be said regarding this individual. I can never do justice. No one can do justice. All the muftis of our time come together, they cannot do justice to Alaa Hazrat, because no one is on his caliber. The only person that can do justice is if someone is on his caliber. Wo ta'aruf pesh kare to maza aaye. We cannot do justice to the ta'aruf of Imam Ahl Sunnah. Regardless of how many big conferences we do, this is just our love that we can share. And this is only our love that we can show to the noble man of Allah. So, Dawlatul Makkiyah he writes, and then imagine when he travels to Madinatul Munawwara. And I'm concluding, my brothers. Brother Basharat is sat here, Brother Naz, Brother Shakib, you know, Brother Wasim. Who shall I mention? Subhanallah, Hassan, Saif here in front of me. All of you guys, Brother Arshad over there, Brother Ishfaq, Subhanallah. You know, those of you that have traveled with me to Makkatul Mukarramah and then Madinatul Munawwara, I want you to go back and imagine that time again when we left Moini sat here. Remember, when we left Makkatul Mukarramah and we went to Madinatul Munawwara, how our emotions were, how we were spiritually uplifted, how we were just Rizwan here, Hamad. Imagine that. Remember that day when we left Makkah to go to Madinatul Munawwara. You know, we cannot describe that feeling in words. And that's us Gunagar people. We are nowhere near the dust that touched the feet of Imam Ahl Sunnah. We cannot even compare ourselves to the dust that touched his feet. Imagine when Imam Ahl Sunnah left Makkah to go to Madinah. Imagine that maqam. And then someone who says, if you cut my heart into two pieces, on one part you will see Muhammadur Rasulullah, and the other you will see La ilaha illallah. Imagine his love. And this is why the great Shaykh of Alaa Hazrat, he says that I've not seen an accurate, beautiful statement like this in my life. Allahu Akbar. This is why then Alaa Hazrat he writes, Hajiyo, oh, Shehenshah ka roza dekho. Hajiyo, oh, Shehenshah ka roza dekho. Kaaba to dekh chuke ho, ab Kaabe ka Kaaba dekho. Hai hai, ab Kaabe ka Kaaba dekho. Imagine Alaa Hazrat. And then it's written regarding Alaa Hazrat that for 3 days he went to the Bargah, because obviously our Iman and Aqidah is that Rasulullah is alive in his grave. And it happened, if you read the awliya, you know, Rasulullah has physically given them a glimpse and given them a didar of himself when they go to present their salams to him sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So Alaa Hazrat, he goes and he presents his salam. And he requests the Prophet to disclose his beauty to him. One day goes by, nothing happens. Second day goes by, nothing happens. Third day goes by, and then he writes a kalam. That kalam. Do you remember that kalam? वो सुए लाला फिरते हैं, that kalam. And then at the end, he sums it up. He says, "Oh Ahmad Raza, why are you so keen to have this honor? There are so many dogs like you who are dwelling in the streets of Medina. Look how he humbles himself." So the final message from the life of Alaa Hazrat, my honorable brothers, is humbling yourself. Is regardless of, look at how big of a giant he was. And this is just very, very, very brief I've mentioned regarding Alaa Hazrat. But you know, he was an encyclopedia within himself. You know, just his Tarjumatul Quran, there's a 35-minute speech of mine on YouTube where I spoke about, compared the Tarjuma of Alaa Hazrat with other translations. That first Alaa Hazrat conference that we had in 2014. Allahu Akbar. You know, there's many conferences that are happening now. They're going to, alhamdulillah, hats off to those that organized it in 2014. Haris being the champion of that. Alhamdulillah. We organized it at Sultan Bahu Trust. So anyway, in there I spoke about the Tarjuma of the Quran. So I didn't touch on that today. But you know, even the translation of Alaa Hazrat is phenomenal. The way he poured the love of Allah and the love of Rasulullah in his translation of the Quran, I urge you to read Kanzul Iman. You know, there's nothing like it. And you listen to that speech, how I compared it with other translations that are out there in the market. That in itself just shows you how much of an individual he was. So Alaa Hazrat alayhi rahmah, his translation of the Holy Quran is just phenomenal. So he spent so much work, and then look how he humbles himself. So the message for the Ridwis, which is all of us, is humble yourself. Find the ground. You're not in the skies, you're not flying. Only those that have mamba are flying in the sky. And we're not from amongst those that smoke mamba or weed. Okay? We should stay on the ground. And if we claim to love Alaa Hazrat, we should humble ourselves. May Allah give us the tawfiq to humble ourselves and to take heed from the teachings of Alaa Hazrat. And today, like I said, the objective was so you have this thirst erupted within yourself. Really, is this who Alaa Hazrat was? We thought, Nauzubillah for saying this, we thought he's just a troublemaker and called people kafir and bidati and so forth. Like I said regarding that as well at the start, I'm not going to repeat what I said. But may Allah Kareem give us the ability to stay firm like a mountain on the aqidah of the Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, inshallah. And all those people that